Hi everyone, and as promised, I'm going to be showing off not my Doctor Who DVD collection, but just my other DVDs that I have. If you're wondering, I have taken all of the Doctor Who DVDs off the shelf, so when this video is over, I'm going to have to put them all back. I apologise if I sound a little out of breath. My chest hasn't been very good today. But yeah, I'll show off all of my DVDs and what I think of each one. So we'll start off with TV shows first. We have Primeval. Um, this is a show that I really, really wanted to like. I'd heard about it. This was out round about the time when Doctor Who was on TV back in the 2000s, and I never watched it. And yeah, I finally got round to watching it last year, and I didn't think much of it at all. Series 1 and 2 are great, Series 3 is okay, and then after that it just kind of falls off. Another show that was on during the 2000s, Being Human, absolutely brilliant. I love this show. Series 1 is my favourite, and it does fall off a little after Series 3, but I still think as a whole it is a great show. It's absolutely brilliant. I highly recommend you go watch this. Even if you're a sci-fi fan, I think you will find a lot of enjoyment out of this. Next up we have Sherlock. You guys might not know this, but I'm not a big fan of Stephen Moffat. You know, that's why I kept his era way down there. But Sherlock, it's a bit of a mixed bag, I'm not going to lie, but as a whole, I do actually quite like to go back and watch it a lot. I think Series 4 just kind of, well, yeah, ruined it, but still, overall, a solid show. Good Omens with Michael Sheen and David Tennant. Really fun. Just, you know, man, I really enjoyed this more than I thought I was going to, actually. Some episodes are better than others, but I remember on the plane flight to New York, I binge watched this the whole way there. So, yeah, I've got the limited edition Steelbook Blu ray here. And yeah, it's just a load of fun. I'd highly recommend you give it a watch. Now, on to my Batman collection. Okay, we have the Batman from the 89 and the to 97. Um, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I actually don't like these films very much. I think they're a very poor representation of Batman, especially Tim Burton's films. I just don't think he understood the character. Jack Nicholson does a great performance as the Joker, but aside from that, oh god, these films, man, I can't believe I actually was able to sit through them. Not very good. Unlike this, however, Batman the Animated Series, which is the greatest representation of Batman ever put to screen, in my opinion, and in many other people's opinions. It's a fantastic show. If you haven't watched it, get the box set. I have the DVD box set here, but you can get the Blu-ray as well. Absolutely brilliant. I will say, don't binge watch it like I did, because it will get quite difficult to watch if you do that. But yeah, definitely check this show out. I love just picking and choosing episodes when I'm in the mood. And my favourite episode, funnily enough, has an individual DVD release. I believe on the Blu-ray box set it does come included in that, but because I got the DVD it doesn't, so I had to get it individually, and that is Mask of the Phantasm. It's perfect. I'm not going to spoil anything, go watch it, it's absolutely brilliant. This is the best story in the series. And now on to the Christian Bale Batman films. We've got Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises. This is the Batman that I grew up watching, and yeah, it's really good. Um, Now on to the DC animated stories. So we've got Batman Under the Red Hood, really great one. This I must pick up A Death in the Family. Originally I thought it was just this but retitled, but no, it's actually different, so I must do that. Batman The Dark Knight Returns, great story. We've got part one and Part 2 here. A very interesting take on the Batman universe. It's Superman's there, you got the Joker, and you have a girl version of Robin, which at first I was like, oh, really? But no, it's not like that. It doesn't, affect the story much. No, it's really great, honestly. Go give it a watch. Batman Assault on Arkham, it's not very good. I think this is meant to be the Arkham games. It's meant to take place in that sort of universe. It's just not very good. Batman the Killing Joke. I don't know what to think of this one. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's particularly good either. Yeah, it's very, very mixed bag for me. Batman Gotham by Gaslight. This one is brilliant. I mean it. In fact, I think I've probably rewatched this one more than any other. It's dark, it's gruesome, it's gory, and it's a very, very awesome take. Batman in the industrial era. Just gaslights everywhere, smog, and yeah, Jack the Ripper. What more could you want? Batman Hush. Once again, a little overrated for me. I'm not going to spoil anything. It's got some good moments, definitely, but yeah, I wasn't too happy with who Hush was. I'm not going to reveal it, but yeah. The Long Halloween Part 1. Love it. That's all I'm going to say. Love it. And get it up. The Long Halloween Part 2. I love it, but I think I need to watch it again because I didn't quite understand the ending. I must go through with that again. I haven't seen the comic. I've never been much of a comic person. And now films that mean such a great deal to me. Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi trilogy. So Spider-Man 1, classic. Spider-Man 2, this was my first one that I watched. I got Spider-Man 2.1, which is an extended cut. And it's brilliant. What can I say? For many people, this is the best Spider-Man movie. And a Spider-Man film that I think gets far too much hate. I don't think it deserves the hate that it gets. If you understand what was going on behind the scenes, I think Sam Raimi still did a great job with what he had. I know it can be cringe, but I think actually it's just really funny, those parts. I still think it's a very enjoyable film. I love the Sandman. He's such an underrated character. Topher Grace, probably not the best guy to cast as Venom, I understand. But this got far too much hate. In my opinion, it's better than any Spider-Man film that's come after it. In my opinion. Crucify me in the comments if you want. Then we have the MCU Phase 1, the only phase I actually fully like. The films got very convoluted for me. I'm not a big fan. I don't think they're bad, but this was the only phase that I actually enjoyed from start to finish. I loved the Avengers. The first Iron Man film is perfect. I remember going to see the first Avengers in the cinema with my friends, and I loved it. Oh dear, the Harry Potter series. Philosopher's Stone, love it, it's a classic. The Chamber of Secrets, also love it, it's a classic. Prisoner of Azkaban, not amazing, but not bad. The Goblet of Fire, it's a classic, but I need to watch it again because the last time I watched it, I didn't think much of it for some reason. Also, there's an actor in this, which obviously I love if you've watched my Doctor Who videos. The Order of the Phoenix. Now, I loved this one when I was a kid, but on the most recent watch, I have to say I didn't think much of it. Half-Blood Prince, it's a classic. I love this one. It's so underrated. In my opinion, I think this was the last good film that they did. Oh, The Deathly Hallows Part 1, it's crap. I'm sorry, it's crap. That's really all I can say. On the Road, which is a special bonus disc that came with this, if you bought it at Asda, which I did. Deathly Hallows Part 2, it's not as crap as Part 1, but it has a nice ending. That's all I'll say. It does have a nice ending. The Lord of the Rings. I can't review these because I haven't gotten round to watching them yet, purely because I don't have the mental capacity to sit still for 3.5 hours of film. That's all I really need to say. I will get round to it because I do desperately want to watch them. And then lastly, Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I mean, we all love Ghostbusters. I actually love Ghostbusters 2. A lot of people don't. And now on to my, well, let's say this is my horror area. So this is my Alien and Predator Ultimate Collection box set. You've got the Alien, Aliens, Predator, Predator 2, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I mean, I would talk about this in detail, but we'd probably be here for another half an hour. Love the first two Alien films, love the first two Predator films. A lot of people hate Predator 2, I don't. Alien 3, it's watchable at least, but it's not what anybody wanted. Alien Resurrection is an absolute embarrassment. Pardon me. Alien vs. Predator is a better film than people say it is. I actually quite like it. Alien vs. Predator 2 is terrible, mostly because you can't actually see anything that's going on. Predators, I actually quite like it. A lot of people don't, but yeah, it's not amazing. Prometheus, I don't hate it as much as some people do, but I don't particularly like it either. It's quite self-indulgent, if I'm being honest. Alien Covenant, it's terrible. I don't even know why I've got it on the shelf. And now Halloween. So, the original Halloween, it's a classic. Halloween 2, it's very, very good. Halloween 3, I personally like it. A lot of people don't. I like it, so there you go. Halloween 2018, I don't know what to think of this, honestly. I think I prefer Halloween 2, quite honestly. I don't know. I don't dislike it, but I don't particularly think it's anything great either. And of course, Halloween Kills is coming out soon. Friday the 13th. Very up and down for me. I like the first film. I like the second film. The third film, I thought it started to get a bit copy and paste. You know, not very much to it. The fourth film I didn't enjoy at all because it's exactly the same thing that we've seen so many times. Fifth film, I liked it because it was different. Sixth film, I loved because it's the zombie Jason. 7, I thought was decent. You know, I love the scene at the end. And I'm going to get so much hate for this, but I actually really liked Jason Takes Manhattan, so deal with it. The Thing, 2-pack, the original and the 2010 prequel. I hate the 2010 prequel. I absolutely love the original. Stephen King's It. It's great. It's not scary, but it's great. It's a great film. It is a bit shocking in some places, though. The Terminator collection, Terminator 1, absolutely brilliant. Terminator 2, once again, absolutely brilliant. Terminator 3, not so great. Terminator Salvation, I think it's an underrated gem. So many people hate this. At least it did something different with the franchise. I think it's great. Gremlins 1 and 2, classics. I love Gremlins, and I do quite like Gremlins 2, but just not as much. 8 Mile, me and my mum watched this recently. Yeah, good old Slim Shady. Face Off, the best action film ever made. If you haven't seen this, go and watch it. It's so brilliant. The Walking Dead Season 1, I love it. I've been told that the show goes downhill after Season 4, so I've never carried on with it, to be honest. Dunkirk. A lot of people say this is a masterpiece. It's a good film, but I don't think it's a masterpiece. I'm sorry, I just lose track of who the characters are. Maybe that's the point. Taken, it's a classic. Everyone loves Taken. And, you know, I will find you, and I will kill you. I have a very specific set of skills. I've done that in the wrong order. Yeah. Non-Stop, great Liam Neeson. Highly recommend you watch this one. Really great, really claustrophobic on a plane. I mean, as someone who has a fear of flying, this is probably not the best film to watch the day before you go on a plane. Team America. Oh my god, this film is brilliant. And if you know all of the modern rubbish that's going on in Hollywood and all the politics and everything, this film is just... it's more relevant today than it ever has been. Avatar, film critics, so they're called, love to hate this film. They always say, oh, it's not as good as everyone says it is. I think it's great. I know there's a political message in there. I get it. I understand. I still think it's great. Okay? I think the problem is everyone's a critic, and, they just have to ruin everything by saying, oh, it's not as good. And it's like, look, we all have our own opinions. What's this? Real Steel? Is that what it? Oh, yeah. Real Steel. Sorry, I forgot what it was called. I thought it was called Ring of Steel. Hugh Jackman. Really great, actually. I haven't seen this in a long time. I'll have to sit down and watch that. Passengers, a little boring, but it's a great story. Like, what I mean is it can drift from now and then, but the story's great. I still think it's good. Godzilla, didn't think much of it, to be honest. Actually, I preferred the 2003 version. 2012, your typical end-of-the-world stuff. Don't even know why that's on the shelf. Men in Black 1 and 2 classics. I love the first one. The second one, not so much. Men in Black 3, I actually love this. A lot of people hate it. As I said, this is a film I grew up with, so I don't care what you think. I love it. The Hunger Games, love the first one. The series just never grabbed me. I never bothered actually catching up with any of the others. It just never grabbed me, honestly. I think the first one was enough. Transformers, this is a classic from my childhood. I love it so much. And I also love Transformers 2. And I also love Transformers 3. After that, it went terrible, so we'll pretend that all the others don't exist. Jurassic Park, huge part of my childhood. Love the first one. Don't think much of the second and third, however. Jurassic World, I gave this film a chance, and I do like it, but I don't love it. I can't see why so many people love this franchise. I can't even remember what happens in this film. I've only watched it once. X-Men 2, really good. Got the definitive edition, which is actually in a metal case. I got this from a car boot, so yeah, very cheap as well. X-Men Origins Wolverine, this is where the comments are really going to go crazy. I actually like this one. I know the Deadpool is a bit stupid, but I do actually like this one. I also really like X-Men First Class. A very good one. I love the Wolverine. This is actually my favourite one, actually. Oh yeah, love it. Days of Future Past, very good, not the best. That contradicts, doesn't it? Logan, not as good as people say it is, but not bad in any way. It's cool. So now down onto the last shelf. We're almost there, guys. I promise. I am knackered. Deadpool 2. I've put them in the wrong order. Not a bad film, but not particularly great. Nowhere near as good as the first one. The first one was absolutely fantastic. It was something so different, which I really like. I'm just gonna... Sorry, the DVDs are quite packed together. Captain America Civil War, I do like it very much. It's very interesting. Doctor Strange, I've only seen this once and it confused me. The Amazing Spider-Man, as I said, as a kid, I just felt like this wasn't as good as the Sam Raimi trilogy. But it's good, unlike the one that came after it. That's absolutely god-awful, that is. And then we have the the MCU Spider-Man, Tom Holland. I kind of like it, I kind of don't, but I tell you what I do like. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, oh god, here we go with all the politics. No, it's actually just a great film, and the animation is incredible. Hellboy, classic, I love it. Honestly, great film. Ghost Rider, I do actually kind of like this. I know a lot of people hate it. I hate the second one, but I think this film is watchable. Wonder Woman, it's great. The politics is in there, but the story and the film as a whole is still really good. Same with Alita Battle Angel, really. Politics is there, but the story and the visuals are just great. So, really recommend you watch that one. Star Wars Return of the Jedi, I do have the prequel trilogy and all the others, but this is the only one I've got at the moment on the shelf. Yeah, I like this one. RoboCop, the remake, I do actually really like the remake. You know, I haven't watched the originals properly. I do need to sit down and do that, but I do like it actually. Van Helsing, really awesome film with Hugh Jackman. Vampires, werewolves, what more could you want? Clash of the Titans, this is another childhood favourite of mine. I'm probably going to get so much hate, but like I said, I'm entitled to my opinion. You know, you should be allowed to like or not like a film. You know, it's ridiculous, the world we live in. Mad Max, really great. The action scenes in this are incredible. Skyfall, my favourite of the Daniel Craig James Bond films. I went to see this one at cinema. Spectre, not as good, if I'm being honest. To me, it wasn't a very satisfying ending, but then there's that No Time to Die coming out, and that's probably going to be terrible. Sonic the Hedgehog, really pleasant actually. I really enjoyed this one more than I thought I was going to. It's a really fun film. Detective Pikachu, I thought it was okay. Some of the humour was a bit dry and the characters a bit bland, but I did love Mewtwo because he's my favourite Pokemon. So that was great. The Paddington films, really, really good. Love Paddington. Adore Paddington 2. It's so good. These films are just so good for your mental health. They're so cheerful, happy, and just good. Although the second one is very sad, but it gets good. It gets a happy ending. So I shouldn't spoil that really. Stan and Ollie. I grew up with Laurel and Hardy. I adore this film. Here we have Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's strange, but I like it. We're Back, A Dinosaur Story. This was my childhood. It's actually directed by Steven Spielberg, and it's great. Watership Down. This film is responsible for where I am today in terms of my artwork and just my storytelling and everything, really. This film is responsible for... I mean, it just did so much for me, as well as traumatise me. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a classic. You have to watch it. Legend of the Guardians. Really awesome film. I'm so upset that this never got a sequel. It's so good. And the fella who directed it directed Day of the Dead. Or was it Dawn of the Dead? The remake, so that's interesting. The Iron Giant. It's a classic. Everyone knows it. So great. You've got to watch it. The Beatrix Potter collection, a much better and more faithful retelling of the Peter Rabbit stories. Really wonderful, actually. £3, you can't go wrong, and I've had a lot of fun watching them. Unlike this, James Corden as Peter Rabbit. What are you doing? This film is a joke. It's an absolute joke. I liked it at first, but every time I watch it, I dislike it more and more. Beatrix Potter would turn in her grave if she could see this. Absolute joke. Kung Fu Panda, love this film. Absolutely brilliant. Kung Fu Panda 2, also love this one. And really love this one. Such a positive message. So The kind of film that we need nowadays. How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2, same wonderful classics. How to Train Your Dragon 3, really nice ending. I hope that they don't make another one because they got the ending spot on with this. Here we also have Rise of the Guardians, that's really nice. A little bonus DVD that came with How to Train Your Dragon 3, it's kind of the aftermath of it. And some Scooby-Doos. Where would we be without Scooby-Doo Zombie Island, the traumatizer of childhoods, and The Witch's Ghost, a lot of fun. Then we have, we're on to the Disney area now. Narnia 1 and 2, love the first one, not so fond of the second. Incredibles, it's a classic, especially when you're an adult because the jokes are hilarious. I love it, this was such a big part of my childhood. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, it's beautiful, it's such a classic. I love this film. Honestly, you haven't seen it, watch it. That classics, it is, trust me. Up, same. It's such a beautiful film, and yeah, you've got to watch it. You probably have. Tron, I actually like it. A lot of people don't. Zootropolis, it's very political, but I still like the characters. Raver, the Last Dragon, I like it. It's nothing amazing, but it's not bad. But I kind of feel like the moral of the story is a bit off. It's a bit compromised. I get what they were trying to do, but it just, when you actually stop and you think about it, watch the film and you'll see what I mean. It's still good, though. Do you know, I'm going to dedicate an entire video to this. Soul. Go and watch this film. No, I'm serious. You don't have to be religious or spiritual. You know, just go and watch it. It's got such a wonderful message in it, and it's beautiful. Honestly, it's so beautiful. It's the best film of this year, in my opinion, and it's so underrated. Some Christmas films, we've got Disney A Christmas Carol. I really like it. It's a bit scary in some places. The Polar Express, I watch this every Christmas without fail. I love it so much, it's a childhood classic. And last but ever so not least, we have Sing. It's just a bit of fun. You don't really have to think much into it. There's video after video saying how it's actually a bad movie and all that, and I get it, but you switch your brain off and you just have a bit of fun. Isn't that what a lot of films are for? So, yeah, that is the majority of my DVD collection. And I say the majority because I do have a few bad films, so bad that I actually don't even want them on the shelves. And I've also got a lot more Scooby-Doos because Scooby-Doo was my childhood. But that's the main gist of my DVD collection. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I am absolutely knackered after this. Honestly, just putting them all on the shelves. And now I'm going to have to take them all off and put all the Doctor Who's back. So, yeah, fun. But I really hope you've enjoyed this, guys. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And please, if you disagree with anything that I've said, write your essays out because I would love to sit there with a cup of tea and read them because it's really, really fun. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys, and wherever you are in the world, stay safe, stay happy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.